In Linda Pullman's The Crisis Caravan, she criticizes the lack of accountability in the human aid sector. She argues that NGOs have become so corrupt that they are mostly ineffective in bringing sufficient aid to the correct people. Although she makes many good points throughout her book, I believe qualifying which people deserve aid flaws her argument. I will be dissenting Pullman's argument that placing stricter regulations on aid organizations will decrease corruption and increase the efficacy of aid. I will begin my argument by stating what I believe to be a universal truth. Aid is a human responsibility and right. These aid organizations must remain 100% neutral and offer aid to those who need it. Although situations like the one in Goma following the Rwandan genocide should be prevented, the aid workers were not wrong in offering those Hutus aid when they first fled the country. They were only wrong in letting it escalate to the point at which it got. NGOs and humanitarian workers do not have the right nor the power to dictate who deserves aid and who deserves to suffer. The International Federation of the Red Cross and Red Crescent Societies state that the victims of disasters would be acknowledged as dignified human beings, not hopeless objects. This sentiment should apply to everyone. Secondly, international organizations and nations are working tirelessly to reach all eight of the Millennium Development Goals by the year 2015. These goals target less developed countries, which receive the highest amount of aid. Without humanitarian aid, these third world countries could not even come close to fulfilling any of these goals. Although corrupt governments and regimes sometimes misdirect these aid donations, some people still receive the supplies they need to improve their quality of life by even a fraction. As Pullman states, famine is rarely caused by a lack of food. It far more frequently occurs because people are denied their right to food. No one has the right to decide who deserves food and who deserves to starve. We cannot cut funding nor enact stricter regulations on these humanitarian organizations if we hope to reach these goals in the next couple of years. From a more practical standpoint, aid is a tool of national security. The breeding ground theory explains that from poverty comes discontent, and from discontent comes terrorism. By providing Iraq and Afghanistan with substantial amounts of aid, the United States is creating a basis to fight terrorism from within their borders. The key to this, however, is ensuring that the people know where the aid is coming from, the United States. Aid can be an insurance tool for many nations. In our goals to eradicate poverty, we are also eradicating terrorism and widespread violence. Many rebel groups would be less inclined to inflict harm upon their neighbors if they simply had enough food and shelter for themselves and their families. In conclusion, providing aid to those in need is a human responsibility. It is the duty of humanitarian organizations to remain neutral when doling out aid. A human in need should be viewed as a human in need, and nothing more. They should not be characterized by anything else. Although this may be a difficult concept for some to grasp, neutrality is essential to the efficacy of humanitarian aid. Although Pullman has many valid points throughout her book, I do believe that she is wrong in stating that stricter regulations need to be placed on NGOs and other humanitarian organizations. We cannot stop giving out the amount of aid that we are giving out currently because we are far from eradicating poverty. I believe if we continue on this course, we will come that much closer to reaching all 8 of the Millennium Development Goals by 2015. Although we might not complete them, we will be much closer to completing them than we are now.